everybody. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesday. This is Taria Vision Avant. As you can see, we have 50 seconds before we get started with today's show. But do me a favor, if you are watching us live, and we got an echo, but that's okay. We're going to keep it moving. But listen, do me a favor. Go ahead and put your city and state in the chat if you're watching us live. Put your city and state in the chat. We would love to get to know who's actually watching us on the live. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and put your city and state in as well. We have 20 seconds and we're going to get this party started. We have some giveaways and all types of stuff that's going to be taking place on today's show. So again, go ahead and put your city and state in the chat, and we're going to get started with today. Let's rock and roll. Hello, everybody, to Real Vision Avant. Now, listen, did y'all like the Book Prophets Club on fire? Because, baby, this show is about to be on fire, okay? All I know is that I am so thrilled to have you guys here for another edition of A Wealthy Wednesday. Again, my name is Taria Vision Avant, and what we do is we work with speakers, we work with coaches. We want to show you guys how to get to the bag, how to generate over 10,000+ dollars a month working 2 to 4 hours per day. Because let me tell you something, I do not believe in overworking myself, over exuding myself, baby. I am a lady of leisure. In fact, where am I right now? Okay, I'm all over the world. It's funny, y'all. At the beginning of the year, I made a decision that I wanted to go on a year-long vacation. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in San Francisco. In fact, within a couple of days, we'll be having an inner circle mastermind. We have a couple of people flying in from all over the country that are going to be hanging out for a couple of days. We got photo shoots going on. We're going to be having a little breaking of the bread, some training, breaking down stuff, but it's going to be exciting. But I wanted to come in early so that I could just come and see San Francisco because I've never been here before. So I'm traveling all across the country and so grateful that I'm in this position, grateful to God to be able to just do what I want to do, because isn't that why we do this, right? Isn't that why we get into entrepreneurship or get into walking in our purpose, so that we can do the things that we want to do, when we want to do it, with whom we want to do it, and where we want to do it. Amen. Okay. Yes. Yes. Oh, well, thank you. You guys like the intro. So I don't know right now. It looks like whatchamacallit is not showing the pictures, but shout out to those of you guys who are watching us live. Shannon, brand new BPC member. What's going on out of Alabama? We have Tish Jenkins in Seattle, Washington. Tiffany out of Columbia, South Carolina. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you guys. And go ahead and put your city and state in the chat. And we're going to be doing some giveaways, okay? Well, listen, let me go ahead and introduce our guest speaker or guest interviewee of the day. She's a speaker, she is a coach, she's an author. Of course, you know, we always have our author all-stars on this show. And so without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and introduce her, if y'all don't mind. So let me bring her on up.
Dr. Veirdre Jackson is an award-winning author, educator, and entrepreneur who is recognized as a leading educational trainer in trauma-informed practices and DEIB. She is a veteran educator with over 20 years of experience supporting nonprofit and executive leadership, which has led to her becoming the CEO founder of Living Strong Consulting LLC. She has harnessed her passion for building organizational resilience and personal strength on behalf of youth, families, and educational professionals, and provides training, consulting, and supports to impact children from the inside out. She is a highly sought after keynote speaker and consultant. Her commitment to leaders and organizational development is elevated through her John Maxwell Team Certification. Her internet radio show and podcast on Voice America's Empower Station, Spotify, and iHeart Radio, entitled Living Strong, The Flip Side of Adversity, reaches listeners in more than 40 countries with inspirational, authentic, and practical stories from lived experiences by her guest co-hosts. Her 2019 book and video series, Fearless Conversations with a Limitless God provides insight on addressing the challenges to breaking the cycle of toxic thoughts that keep women in hiding places. Dr. Jackson holds a bachelor's degree from Drexel University, a master's degree in elementary education from Temple University, and a doctoral degree from Wilmington University in leadership and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you all, Dr. Veirdre Jackson.
Hey! That was a little, listen, the round of applause was a little corny. We're going to do it again. Hey! Listen, I want to applaud you for all the great things that you're doing and so excited to have you here. Now, listen, Dr. Veirdre, we gave you, that's the professional introduction, right? But I want to know, first of all, we're going to be talking about refill today. But before we even get into this conversation, can we lead up to why refill became something important to you? Where were you at in your stage of life where you said, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to be, and this is what you did? So tell us a little bit more outside of the professional background of who Dr. Veirdre Jackson is.
Well, first of all, Taria, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to continue to share my heart, my passion, and connecting with the platform that you have so intentionally created for all authors who are also speakers and coaches, and continuing to challenge us to level up and to use our voice. So I have to be honest, you know what? My ability to recognize the value of refill came out of my own brokenness. In 2016, after several years of a toxic work environment that I knew it was time for me to leave, but I was holding on to it out of fear. I held on to it until I was too ill to do it anymore. And in that season, an 18 centimeter tumor had to be removed from my body. As a runner who literally runs at least 3 to 5 times a week, I wasn't allowed to even walk. And for 10 days, I couldn't even get out of the bed. And in that season, I actually got obedient. And I just listened to everything God was downloading into my soul. And I connected with the fact, you know what? I no longer want to live a life in which I am trying to avoid toxic stress, talking about how tired I am. I actually want to live on purpose in abundance. And so I really began to dig deeper into what are specific strategies that I've learned from leaders, from scientists, from researchers, and from those who actually teach trauma informed approaches. How can I pull that together and align it with what I know in my faith to be true about living life on full, and begin to create an entire company called Living Strong Consulting to build out those 6 strategies?
Mm, I love it. And we're going to talk more about those 6 strategies. You know, I find all the time that the things that we do where we can do them, effortlessly tend to be the things that it was because of something we've gone through, right? And so while many people may look at what we do as effortlessly, because what you do it so incredibly, right? You do it amazing. Like I look at all the things that you're doing, how you're impacting people. It's just incredible. But it all started from something that you actually went through, which is powerful because you're a leading example. So you're not just talking the talk, you actually walked the walk, right? So let's get into this refill. So I know that you made refill into an amazing acronym. So tell us, what does refill stand for?
So, if I can first just give context. So, especially in this season after the pandemic, because I work a lot with not only classroom teachers, but adults, any kind of adult that touches the lives of children. So, it's not just strictly about someone who is in a classroom, administrators, family service workers, parents. I continuously heard coming out of the pandemic people talking about how tired they were. And if this was actually what we're experiencing, if it was actually about being tired, then people could just take a nap. People could go on a vacation. People could do the self care stuff and come back and should be fine, ready to go. And they're not. They're coming into even the things that they said they loved, and they're wondering, why don't I feel motivated anymore? And so, again, going back to the research, understanding the brain, understanding how a constant cortisol drip absolutely depletes us, doesn't just make us tired, but it takes something away from us. And so I said, you know what? Let's start talking about how tired we are. Let's get strategic with actually unpacking what does it mean to refill the depleted places in our soul. And so looking at those combinations of science and research and faith, R is rewire for relationships. E is the ethical imperative of soul care. F is find your strength. I is involve a growth plan. L is let it go. The other L is leverage your energy.
Mm, love it. Love it. Y'all, in the chat right now, those of you guys who are watching live, I'm going to have her to repeat it one more time. But out of those different ones, out of refill, type in the one that you love the most in the chat. We're going to put your name up on the screen, but type in the one that you love the most. So, one more time, what is refill again? What are the acronyms, or what does refill stand for?
Yep. Rewire for relationship. The
Mm-hmm.
ethical imperative of soul care. Find
Mm.
your strength. Um, I involve a growth plan. And then the first L is let it go. And the second L is leverage your energy.
Ooh, honey, if I could say, I think I can relate to them all. I was trying to figure out which one I liked the most, but I was just like, look, like that one, like that one. I mean, letting it go, I'm going to tell you, for me personally, just in the space of refilling, right? Because I talk about this, we want to go into something or want to learn something new, but we come half full. Or we come with a little bit of information already, or we come with a little bit of baggage, or we come with a little bit of what had happened was. You know what I'm saying? And it's very difficult for us to even get full if we are coming with stuff already there. And so we have to first learn how to let it go. In fact, well, I don't know if it was you that posted this, but I saw this posted. And if not, I'm going to send you the video. But it was a video of a cup of something, a liquid that was just completely black. And they had to pour water into the liquid and pour it and pour it and pour it until the water got clear. And so, one thing I think that a lot of us also need to understand is that when we're making a declaration that we're going to refill ourselves, is that this is a continual thing. But before we even get into that, we're probably right now, we have speakers that are watching, coaches, authors, entrepreneurs, bosses out here. Why is it important that we even decide to refill? Why can't we just keep on going with the way that we're going? I mean, I know we talked about being tired, right? But why is this super important, especially for those of us who have big dreams and goals?
I think that is the closest to the E in refill. And I always ask people when I say the ethical imperative of soul care, what does that imply? And I wait for people to think about if I say there is an ethical imperative to soul care, for me, ethics, ethical, that's tied to my integrity, that's tied to my core values. It means that our soul care, and I'm not talking about the gift card, I'm not even talking about the pedicure, I'm not even talking about the trip to Aruba. I am talking about soul care, doing the internal work around your emotional healing, your mental healing, and unpacking your habits. Now, why is this important? Because when you look at the work of Dr. Charles Figley, who is considered the founder of the research on compassion fatigue, he shares how if we do not become intentional in taking care of ourselves, and we are people who are here to add value to others, if we do not take care of ourselves, it is inevitable that you will begin to do damage to other people. So there is an ethical imperative tied to your speaking, to your writing, because we cannot write from our pain place. We need to be writing from a healed place so that we are walking people into a place of what is possible, not what has happened. And that comes from a place of healing, doing that soul care. If we don't do it, I guarantee you, and the research doesn't lie, it will inevitably show up in the work that you have good intentions about, but it begins to do damage to other people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Dr. Veirdre Jackson, okay? And I'm telling you guys, this information has been so powerful. You guys, go ahead. If you are watching us in the chat right now, let us know where you're chiming in from. I see Tiffany, I see Tish, I see Real Life of the Hortons, Moms of the Couch. I like that name. Moms off the couch, not of the couch, right? Rebecca, Shannon, welcome to everybody that is watching us live. And for those of you guys who are watching the replay, make sure to also comment. Please give this a thumbs up, as well as go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Real quick, we're going to be right back with Dr. Veirdre because she's got some more tips, some more things that she's going to be talking to us. But some of you guys are here because we're doing a giveaway. So this hat right here, listen, I'm here in California, right? So I was at the airport. Everybody was like, where did this hat come from? I was at a restaurant. Everybody was like, where did the hat come from? So in my mind, if anybody knows me, y'all know I am the queen of giving away some stuff. Like, I love to do giveaways. I love to do raffles. I love to bless people. And so I got a little giveaway. I'm going to share it with y'all.
What's up, family? So, question, would you like to get a free Urban CEO hat? Well, first of all, Urban stands for Unapologetic, Real Bold, Action-Oriented, and Non-Conforming. It's an organization that I founded back in 2019, and we went on a short hiatus. But we are coming back, and I'm looking for some urban CEOs, no matter your race, your background, any of that, but some urban CEOs that would like to rock the brand. So if you're interested, go to bookprofitsclub.com/free hat. bookprofitsclub.com/free hat to submit your details to get one of these hats while supplies last. Again, bookprofitsclub.com/free hat. See you there. Bye. Calling all authors, speakers, and coaches. Are you registered for Ignite to Profits? Well, listen, if you are not planning to come to Atlanta June the 6th through the 9th, let me tell you why you do not want to miss it. First of all, we're going to be recognizing authors that are all across the country. And we might have some people coming in internationally. We just got awarded on December the 15th Author All-Stars Day by the city of Atlanta. So this means not only if you are an author, you come to the conference, do you get to be recognized, but you will be certified as an Author All-Star. So you will be able to come to the conference and get recognition. Also, all of our Book Profits Club members will get additional awards that are going to them based on qualifications. We also had the exciting opportunity to hear from some amazing dynamic speakers from all over the country. Ignite to Profits is not an event that you want to miss, so go ahead and register. I promise you, this is going to be something that's going to change your life. So go to ignitetопроfits.com, ignitetопроfits.com, and I will see you in the A. Deuces.
Okay, y'all see that? Now, I don't know if y'all noticed. Did y'all see Dr. Veirdre Jackson is one of our speakers at Ignite to Profits? Yes, she's going to be in the building. So I already know that you guys are super excited to get a chance to meet her personally and hear more directly from her. But we're going to go ahead and get back into this conversation. And, now that we're talking about refill, the 6 strategies of refilling, I want to go ahead and bring her back on. So y'all let's give a round of applause real quick. It's a little, yeah, okay, my audio, what I'm saying, I gotta get the better clap, but that's okay. But Dr. Veirdre, listen, this conversation has been great. Even connecting it to more medical studies and understanding the importance of just what all of this means as far as refilling and not continuously going through the days, emptying ourselves out and hoping to be able to be fully impactful in the way that we wish to. Now, can I ask you a question? Because, we talk about some of the acronym of refill and some of the things that you got to be willing to do, right? I think a lot of times, though, why people have difficulties with the refill part of it all is because of the need to be in groups. Oh my goodness. Have you ever been around someone who is like, everything y'all talk about is always negative, or everything they talk, it's like you guys get in the group where it's all about the negativity, we all about the tear down, we all about the gossip, and then when we finally make this decision, I want to live this life of positivity, I want to live this life of impacting the world, it becomes difficult. And we don't want to leave these groups because this is all that we know. So my next question that I want to get into, because this is, to make a decision that you're going to empty yourself and refill, right? It could mean that you might be losing some people. First of all, why is it important for us as humans to feel like we belong? And for the person who might even be dealing with this, what do you recommend that they do?
So I love that question because it literally is just how the brain works. Every human being, your brain is looking for two things: safety and connection. And when you understand, one of my mentors, she wrote the foreword to the book you mentioned earlier, Fearless Conversations with the Limitless God. Uh, she, in one of my very first sessions of learning how to become a certified trainer in trauma, she said, healing takes place in the context of healthy relationships. And so, yes, as human beings, it's just biology. Whenever I encounter someone who says, I'm a loner, I don't like people, or when I'm working with women and they say, I don't like other women, or I just can't get around other people, my first question is always, what happened? Because it doesn't even match up with the science. Our brains are constantly looking for safety and connection. And to your question, if we don't get it in a healthy way, we will still go after it in a crooked way. It's just how we're wired as humans. So it's being willing to recognize that if healing takes place in the context of healthy relationships, is not necessarily about how many followers you have, how many platforms or likes you have, but it's how many healthy connections that help you feel safe, that you have consistently, that fills your soul as opposed to depletes you or causes division.
Amen. Amen. Come on, y'all. Y'all go ahead and drop something in the chat. Drop something in the chat if this was powerful, because that is absolutely amazing. Incredible information. I'm really excited about just learning more about the process of what it is that you also do with people. Dr. Veirdre, I got to tell you, because when you said the person that says that they're a loner, and y'all know I like to always put myself out there. But that has also been something where I realized, like, for a long time, I used to say that I was a loner. And if I could be real transparent, when you even say, well, what happened? And I think about, I had to sit down one day and say, why are you this way, Taria? And I think about even as a young child, just coming up and in the spaces that I came up, coming up under, two parents who were, unfortunately dealing with some challenges within themselves, getting into environments where maybe, as a child, depending upon where you come up, you're told not to speak unless spoken to. So you immediately learn to become a recluse and not even speak. And then if you're by yourself, you just get used to being around yourself. But like you said, as human beings, we have a natural desire to want to be around people. I don't think that God would give us the emotion of love and friend, friend is not an emotion, but you know what I mean. But being able to be in those environments of love and happiness if we were not supposed to be there. So,
Right?
okay, so somebody's listening to you, right? And they say, girl, because I see Shannon. Shannon said, oh, that sounds like my story. So now they're like, okay, well, Doc, I think I need a little help, right? Um, in the space of where you work professionally, when you're working with someone individually, like, how do you work with them? what is it that your process looks like when they make a decision they want to reach out to you?
So I want to make sure I understand the question, how to connect with me or how to actually begin the work?
So if I say, you know what, I'm interested in learning more of what she offers, right? So what does that kind of look like? Like if you were to give me a little bit of a preview of you and I working together, what would an example of that look like?
hmm So initially, it's actually me just really learning how to listen in. And I challenge people to allow themselves to be honest in a safe place in the presence of someone who's going to challenge them to be brave. Because the work, we cannot heal something that we have not confronted. We cannot fix a lie that we continue to perpetuate. So I'm actually, there's a 3-step process for heart-centered listening that I use with everyone I work with. And it inevitably also helps the person to begin to think about what they're thinking about, to unpack their belief systems, because our belief controls our behavior. So often we're trying to change the fruit of our behavior. We're trying to manipulate it, push it down, try and get rid of it, try and push it to the back, when actually you have to start from the roots. What do you believe about yourself, about your value, your world value, your place in the world, and even how the world receives you? We have to be willing to have an authentic conversation about your belief systems. And when you understand what you believe, move past just emoting emotion or sharing or yelling or being overwhelmed, moving past those moments and actually sitting in the presence of someone who offers you safety, but's going to lean in and challenge you to be brave so that you begin to realize what you believe. And then we build strategies around the truth. So, because we're getting rid of the lie.
Everybody type this in the chat. Get rid of the lie. Get rid of the lie. Okay, type that in the chat. It is so important, guys, that we start moving in the truth. And what does the truth look like for you? Hopefully, ultimately, it leads to happiness. Hopefully, ultimately, it leads to a place of love. A place of where you are not tired anymore, where you are fully energized because you're doing that of what you love to do with whom you love to do it with. Dr. Veirdre, I know you have your company, and so if you want, can you tell us a little bit about your company? What made you come up with the name Living Strong? And what I know you kind of told us a little bit of what it looks like to work with you, but you do so many other things as well. So overall, what does Living Strong offer, and what made you decide to choose that name?
So, it came again out of a broke, like when you are laying on a bed and you have no options and you're coming from a place of brokenness. I actually was just sitting there praying and like, okay, God, I got nothing. Like, I got nothing now. I didn't have a job. I didn't even have all of my health. And so literally out of obedience, the phrase living strong, that is what I'm calling you to do, daughter, came to me. And after doing my work, doing due diligence, I really attached it to that's actually what I feel my assignment is. When you come out of a place where you spent a majority of the time thinking more about dying than living, and you now have a second chance to begin to live out your heart work. My assignment from that bed is everywhere I go to be love and light. And so, in the work that we do with Living Strong Consulting, I think about any type of organization that touches the life of a child. Oftentimes, you have a big mission, You have this vision you want to do, you have this huge purpose, but you don't know the infrastructure. You don't actually have the system in place. The vision is big, the desire is big, but you don't quite know how to build the team. You don't know how to build the culture, and you don't have the system in place for sustainability and for scalability. Well, that's where Living Strong comes in. We help any organization, faith-based or marketplace, that impacts the life of a child with understanding how do you build leadership, not just managers. How do you build community and a culture of belonging so that people find connection and safety? And how do you build the systems so that your mission is sustainable and it becomes a part of legacy? So we do that in training, coaching. We have an on-demand platform. You heard about the radio show. And I also provide leadership coaching one-on-one and in small groups.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Veirdre Jackson in the house. Listen, I know that you have a goodie, a gift, of something that you can offer to our audience. What is it? Just so that they can get a little taste, right? A little appetizer to connect with you. What is it that you have for everybody that is watching on today?
So if you want to dive deeper into the six letters or the six elements of refill, I want you to get my ebook. It's real simple. I want you to go to refillmeplease.com. Download the ebook. And once you download that ebook, you will then have access to all of the other things we offer. And if you've been hearing me talk about any adult that impacts the life of a child, I want to build community with you. Once you go to refillmeplease.com, it will also provide you with access to our Refill Tribe, which every single day we provide resources, we provide expert input, we provide the opportunity for inspiration and encouragement. And my free webinar that is going to be launched, that's the only place you're going to be able to get access to it. So again, if you just take the first step, get the ebook. If you know you're feeling depleted, this is your chance. Do something about it. Refillmeplease.com and get connected.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Dr. Veirdre Jackson. Refill me, please. Isn't that easy to remember? Y'all type it in the chat. Send this out to a couple of people. Text about 2 to 3 people. Say, listen, you need to go to refillmeplease.com. This woman is talking about something amazing, and I think you need to plug in. Also, everybody that's watching, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We plan on bringing you guys many amazing people, men and women that are speakers, coaches, but mostly authors, impacting the lives, right? That is our goal. We want to be able to impact the world with our words. Well, listen, do not forget, I'm giving away some hats, okay? So if you want to participate in this giveaway, all you need to do is go to www.bookprofits.com/free hats. Book is singular. So it is bookprofitsclub.com/free hat. And you can submit your information for the free hat. There's no gimmick or nothing like that. I just want to have some people that are going to rock the brand. But make sure you go to refillmeplease.com, plug in, and we will see you guys on the next edition of Wealthy Wednesday. Listen, God bless you all, and I pray that your day is full of peace, prosperity, happiness, and everything in between. Deuces.